everyone, welcome back to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are going to build an asylum for the Asylum challenges out there and the Sim players that play the Asylum challenge, or for horror movie fans like me, because the Asylum still was on my list. I did build the Arkham Asylum way back. I will link to that in the video description down below. And before we even start this video, I have a short little disclaimer, guys. There is something super exciting going on. I am in the new reality TV show Sparked for The Sims 4, or like for The Sims in general. Oh my god. So yeah, The Sims has a TV show now, and I want you guys to, of course, all watch it and watch me fail and whatnot. So it airs on TBS on the 17th of July, and it re-airs the next day after, and then on the Monday after it will be online on BuzzFeed Multiplayer. I will link to everything you need to know about this in the video description down below, and I'm super excited that I'm in this. I'm super excited for you guys to see it. And yeah, if you have any questions about this, write it in the comments and maybe do another Q&A video about this. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm super excited. I hope that you're gonna love this. And yeah, without further ado, we're just gonna continue with our Asylum video, okay? So what we are doing here is, of course, trying to build something old-timey. I looked at, I just googled old asylum, abandoned asylum, stuff like this. There was another asylum that I wanted to build as well, because I did the Arkham Asylum years ago. And then, of course, American Horror Story happened, and everyone wants me to build the one from the Asylum season. I think that was the second one, and also, in my opinion, the best, but okay. Yeah, we are not going to do this. I just had a lot of restrictions because I want this to be the asylum for the very famous Asylum challenge. So this has been I think a thing that has been around for quite some Sims time, maybe even Sims 2, I'm not sure. But I found, I would say, most popular forum entry about this, and there are some rules that there's like not allowed to be as many beds or stools and chairs and whatnot. So yeah, I was like, oh damn, maybe we don't make this as big then, because I'm not allowed to use that much stuff. But in building wise, I'm allowed to use a lot of stuff. So I'm going to use lots and lots of packs. I can't even tell you which packs because I have all of them, but if you use the gallery download link down below, you will see it, I guess. So I will put that in the video description down for you. So yes, as always, this build is up in the Sims 4 gallery, and I will put, for your convenience, the link in the video description down below as well. Yeah, there's lots of stuff in the video description today, but yeah, what can I say? I hope that you're gonna love this build. It is, of course, a bigger build. Keep in mind that I always do tend to de-escalate with my builds. I escalate a lot with the size. I don't know, but it happens. Yeah, it's a thing here. Therefore, it always takes a lot of time until I have finished them and until I have this stuff up as a video as well, because no tiny builds. I'm not sure why. I really should start doing just one tiny build after another or something. But yeah, I really love this horror kind of themes here. You can already see it's quite symmetrical. In my opinion, it was kind of dumb that I didn't do it super symmetrical, because I think it doesn't even do that much to the build if it would have been symmetrical. But anyways, I wanted it to look very eerie, so the Strangerville Gothic kind of, I think these are actually made out of wood. They have a wooden texture, but there is a stone kind of grayish color theme there. So I thought these are perfect. Let's go for Gothic Manor English, something like that. We probably also have these kinds of builds here in Germany. So I think even my old school looked like that, and that's kind of creeping me out at this point. But yeah, there are some elements that I think every European knows, and I also think that you guys over in the US have them as well. So this is like nothing super special, or this is totally thought out. There's like no real asylum or builds or like house building, whatever, in real life that I based this on. I think it just has lots and lots of common structural elements that we just know from, old manors like these. So yeah, after I've been fiddling around with lots of these roofings and putting half walls all around so we can raise the ceiling, just optical wise. I just thought this is pretty cool. And yeah, I did the front first and then the back. For those who think, why is there like this huge, like why is there this huge room under it? Okay, so this is a little trick. I wanted to have, for it to have little basement windows, so to speak, like half souterrain windows. And that's basically lots of hassling with terrain tools if you would do that. And usually in the gallery, if you put stuff up on the gallery with terrain stuff, sometimes the stuff gets deleted just through the transfer on the gallery. And I hated that. So I really wanted this to be possible for those people who are super into the Asylum challenge, which I will also link basically in the video description down below. By the way, guys, if you know who actually created that, like at first, if you find the first entry, I will have a little something for you. Just, yeah, let's see who finds the real first creator of that, because I want to find that person. But I'm pretty sure we already had the Asylum challenge like back into Sims 2 days, or maybe beginning of Sims 3, I'm not sure. But I think it is one of the older OG challenges, so to speak. And yeah, this is going nicely so far. And as you can see, I already changed the basement, so to speak. And it also gives the house a little bit more depth. First of all, it stretches it, of course, vertically, so it looks a little bit throning. If you get there, it's like this, you have to look up to see the whole building. Kind of makes it look a little bit more eerie, in my opinion. And also it gives it like a nice foundation that we can work with, and that we can later also put some windows on and whatnot, because all that stuff's not possible in foundations. And yeah, I just needed something to have like these huge stairs and going up to it and whatnot. I thought that would be a really cool kind of thing to do. So here we are with the wallpapers. Oh my god. Okay, so I wanted it to look, of course, super abandoned and super old. But lots of the stuff that I found is kind of, you know, almost nice looking and not old looking, like old brick. And if there was old brick, it kind of looked cartoony, or it was overgrown and therefore looked a little bit too nice. And I really wanted to go full on madness here a little bit. So in the end, it all tended to go into the very gray, dark direction. But because I've seen lots of people do horribles in The Sims 4, and they use like black all the time, and I'm like, yeah, but yeah, it looks kind of a little bit unrealistic. I myself have done that kind of thing as well, so don't get me wrong, but yeah, I just didn't want to go with black for everything here. I just thought we need to have lots and lots of different stone types, brick types, materials here to kind of simulate that this house was built throughout the times a little bit, and some annexes got added and whatnot. So we overjumped a little bit of the decluttering, but I put lots and lots of gargoyles on top. And we have funny little pillars to simulate these kind of little tower thingies that these houses have. And yeah, as you can see, there's already some windows on the basement foundation floor. And then I was like, damn, even if I make this super overgrown, it will look too lush and almost like a palace. And of course, we want to go for Asylum. So the idea was to use lots and lots of stuff from the Vampire gameplay pack, which is, by the way, really cool if you're into horror stuff. And yeah, basically we use the whole fence here from that pack. And also I think this was one of the requirements in the Asylum challenge, that you have to have a whole fence or something that your Sims can't get out. You know, that's the idea of it. I'm usually not a big fan of putting fences around the houses. I'm not sure why. It just yeah, especially on this lot, there's already a fence around, so in the world basically, so it was not really that necessary. But then we have these really dry plants and ferns and bushes from the Vampire pack that look like old dry out rose bushes and whatnot, and I was like, oh, this is so perfect, these are great as well, it's gonna be amazing. Okay, so we cluttered that thing up here with lots and lots of these bushes, Keep in mind that I have, of course, the Move Objects sheet activated while doing this, so yeah, I can place them freely and stack them on top on one another and whatnot. And I just thought these look kind of eerie, have like some pine trees around, so maybe it's like a super rundown park area of that to make it look as, yeah, like a part of the exterior world as possible, as if like the evilness is eking out into nature here, and therefore we have this very darkish, grayish, mudded color palette here in the greenery as well. And after I've done that, I started doing like little pathways to simulate these kind of park areas around. Of course, this should have been way bigger lot, but this is already the biggest lot that we have in The Sims 4, 64 by 64. Maybe one day as us builders get a really big one, but one can only dream, I guess. And also then that would mean that it takes up to, I don't know, 3 months until I do finish a build, because yeah, when do we even have time for that? Why do I even have time for that? I have to go to work, goddammit. But okay, here we are with a cemetery. Cute little cemetery, because horror and cemeteries are cool. Or graveyards. I'm still not sure when in the English language you use cemetery or graveyard. I know this has been a debate, but and some have said that graveyard is like the smaller ones next to a church or something. Here it is next to an asylum, so graveyard it is. I'm not sure. In German we just use Friedhof, and that's it. That's the word for everything, okay? So yeah, here we have that. So I thought maybe some patients already died in there. I mean, it can get rough. And also, while I was doing this and building this, I was like, maybe we don't hit at what time this takes place. I always think it's cool to not modernize everything, you know, so that the people who actually want to play it as like a medieval legacy kind of thing, there's even a decades challenge, maybe you can use that as well. So we do the same as I did with the orphanage, because it's also quite similar to the orphanage. I have to admit that this, like some tricks that I learned while building the orphanage build, which I also will put down in the video description down below, guys. Yeah, it kind of resembles it a lot. It's also the same style, but I just thought it's gonna be amazing like that. So here we are in the interior design. Okay, so color palette is of course very mudded again. We use lots of gray and black as well. And I needed to have this really red sofa because it looks like this typical psychiatrist. Oh my god, it's hard to pronounce that. Psych dog, I always... psych dog, doctor. Yeah, these typical sofas that you would lie on and then tell him or her about your problems, I guess. So that's a homage to that. And also the Asylum challenge rules are super duper hardcore in my opinion. For builders, oh my god. Okay, so I had only like 8 places for them to sit were allowed, only 5 skill objects were allowed, only 2 sinks, 2 toilets, 2 showers, only 6 beds and whatnot. Like there were lots and lots of weird little things that are not allowed in the asylum centers. So I was like, oh, okay, bookcases are allowed, great, but the seating, that was a problem for me. So because I usually tend to have lots and lots of armchairs and these kinds of builds, only also to fill the hallways and whatnot. So I block these with objects. So for example, one of these seating areas has like the little blankets basket there on top. Some have lots and lots of these cobwebs around and in it, so that it is blocked and your sim cannot sit on there. So yeah, this is happening. It was kind of fiddly, especially with all of the cobwebs and all of the cracks and all of the smudges for the walls and for the floors to add there, because that was kind of a very repetitive thing to do, as always. In these huge builds, you have lots and lots of repetitive stuff to do, like little awnings and whatnot, and then put them, replace them again and again and again. So we do this here too. I have cut a little bit out of it because, yeah, it's cobwebs, guys, but there's no secret about this. I'm really, really happy now with all of these packs that we actually can do quite decent, nice horror builds in my opinion. And yeah, I just hope that you like this one too. Here we even have a bathroom. For those who are really new here to my channel, welcome. I usually tend to cut off bathrooms because they're really, really boring. But this one is of course a little bit more run down. Lots of toilet paper because Rona. But we have of course just one sink, one shower, one toilet. And also upstairs there will be another bathroom. By the way, guys, if you're an architect or whatever in the industry, of course this is absolutely does not make any sense in the interior layout at all. But we have the Sims 4 grid that's usually a little bit harder to transport into real life or vice versa. And also, yeah, it's the Asylum challenge and I was not allowed to use that much stuff. So I was like, okay, let's make the rooms bigger and kind of shit on realistic layouts. It's more like a set design, a production design. If you want to do a machinima or a little movie that is like horror-esque or play like something horror, I think this is a really good house for this. Also in The Sims 4, if you have bigger rooms and like lots of space, it's kind of nicer to play with The Sims. In terms of, yeah, it's just better to move around your mouse and whatnot and your Sims, and yeah, in my opinion it's nicer to play in these kinds of houses. Of course there's lots of clutter going on, so for those with the crappy laptop or maybe console, I mean console should, yeah, the console will be fine with that. But yeah, yeah, this could be a little hard on them, just saying. So yeah, basically what kind of skill objects do we have? We have a piano, we have the bonsai tree for the gardening, we have a little easel to paint, and we have some planters also for the gardening. Yeah, there's not that many. I don't know if the bookcases, because with bookcases you can basically learn a lot of stuff already, but these were allowed on the easiest stage of the Asylum. And there's also the little vampire book. I'm not sure if you would learn vampire lore from them. So as you can see, since I usually tend to build in The Sims 4 and like not play it that much, I am not that versed with what kind of objects do what in this. But there's also outside a little pond for fishing, so I would count this as a skill object. And there are some computers, because computers are obviously allowed, and mirrors as well. So yeah, the rules weren't that yeah, direct with what's going on. But basically, yeah, it should comply with the easiest mode of the Asylum challenge, guys. So here we are upstairs. There are 2 dorms, both with 3 beds, because 6 beds are allowed. I would have loved to have bigger dorms, of course, with lots and lots of beds, but I tried to make it as clinical as possible, because we have that stuff here, and also we have some little lanterns, because I wanted it to look a little bit more old-timey, like not in our time, maybe I was like 40s, something like that. I thought there's like also nice cast stuff for the 40s and 30s and stuff. I thought that would be really cool. It's kind of like a cool, creepy like decades to play in, I guess, for horror. So yeah, I just hope that you're gonna like this here as well. We have, of course, lots of weird stuff going on here. There's lots of laundry. We have some chemical spills or whatnot. I just thought this is cool. You can also change it into red and it's blood. So that's a little tip for me. These spills are from the Strangerville pack, by the way. So for all those horror lovers and builders in The Sims 4, I would always say, of course, vampires, Strangerville is really cool. Get to work if you're into crazy mannequin stuff, medical stuff. So yeah, it depends, of course, a little bit on what exactly you want to do. But of course, these come to mind directly. Also Realm of Magic, because of the Art Nouveau style, maybe could be creepy as well. So yeah, this is basically the build, guys. Here is a little overview if you want to rebuild it yourself. I don't know why, because the download link is in the video description down below, but here you can see the both levels that are basically furnished. And yeah, I just hope that you like it. Here we go into the video tour. Like always, my videos have a video tour at the end, so you can really see what's going on, because the speed build part is so quick. So here we go, guys. Look at how eerie it looks. I really like how it looks, like kind of overgrown with ivy. By the way, I wanted to put lots and lots of columns around to round up the edges of these builds, of the exterior edges, and yeah, the columns don't fade now. I think this is a bug. I hope they fix it so I can place lots of columns outside as well to give the exterior a little bit of depth. But yeah, I love how creepy it looks. It looks really creepy. And I hope that it says Asylum to you. I don't know if it does, but for me it does, definitely. Of course, I also hid a little lionfish here, so if you see it, write in the comments. All hail the lionfish god. Yeah, my little signature. Here we have the graveyard. I'm still not sure if you should say cemetery, but it looks really cool. I love this kind of creepy stuff. And yeah, if you want to use this in your Asylum challenge gameplay, please feel free to do so. And if you have Twitter or Instagram, tag me so I can see what's going on in the house. I always love when people use them, because I tend to build them and then build something new, and so on and so on. It's just an architecture simulator, guys. And yeah, I'm always happy when people use my builds, of course, because that's what they're there for. Of course, no CC was used, as I said, but lots of different packs, so I can't really tell you which ones, but they are probably to be seen if you use the download link down below or look it up on the gallery. And yeah, this is basically it, guys. I really hope that you like this build, guys. Please watch Sparked on July 17th, 18th on BuzzFeed Multiplayer, guys. I would really hope you root for me, of course, for the challenges and whatnot. And yeah, this is basically the build, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you like builds like these. You can always recommend stuff in the comments down below, what I have to build next. And yeah, ask me a question about the show if you want to. Maybe I can answer them, maybe I'm not answering, or I'm not allowed to, if you know what I mean. Spoilers and stuff. But yeah, this is basically it, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.